Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of College Ball with J-Dog. It's 51 days till football starts. I got a special guest here I want y'all to see real quick before she starts fussing. This is Miss Wayne Woe. She wanted to say hi to everybody and she said to tell y'all to like, share, and subscribe. Say hey girl. She's fussy, so she's gonna leave now. I just wanted y'all to see the cuteness. Alright, today we're gonna go over sign stealing video finally. Let me get situated. I was trying to keep her off the camera. We're finally gonna go over sign stealing video. I know for a fact there's one person that subscribed to this channel and ain't gonna like this because he's a Michigan fan. But we're gonna go over it anyway. It's slow sports day, so I figured why not do it today. This probably won't be the longest video I've done, but it's something for y'all to watch and some content pushed out. If that cute baby ain't good enough for y'all to like and subscribe and share this stuff, I don't know what else to do for you. All right, let's start out here with the sign stealer. We got right here. Let me get my camera switched here. I'm still learning. I know y'all bear with me here. All right, Connor Stallions. You don't know who Connor Stallions is. He was a coach for Michigan who got paid like $60,000 a year. Wasn't even an on-field coach, but yet somehow he's buying all these tickets to games and getting everybody's signs. He's even on sidelines of Central Michigan game. I'm not sure if y'all remember that. Michigan's still being investigated for this, by the way, which is why Harbaugh jumped ship and went to the NFL. And that's why he's with the Chargers now. Shawn Moore's already suspended for 2 or 3 games for this too. And there's also another thing Michigan's being investigated for. Anyway, Connor Stallions was at the center of a sign stealing scandal involving the University of Michigan football program. He was accused of orchestrating a scheme where individuals attended games of future Michigan opponents to record and decode play calling signals, which is an NCAA violation. Now, the allegations center around Michigan's potential opponents. There were some connections to South Carolina, particularly a theory regarding the Tennessee-South Carolina game in 2022. Do you remember 2022? We'd only lost to Georgia. We're still sitting in the playoff. Just had to beat South Carolina and Vandy, and we're in. Go to South Carolina. All of a sudden, they set the world on fire, beat us. Hooker tears his ACL. Out of the playoffs. Let's see what it says here. Some fans speculated that Michigan, potentially concerned about Tennessee's strong performance that season, may have provided Tennessee signals to South Carolina attempt to hinder the Vols' path to the playoffs. This theory suggests that Stallions, through his operations, could have been involved in sharing information that ultimately aided South Carolina in beating Tennessee. It is important to note that Stallions denied breaking NCAA rules, of course, so he claimed he got all this information from watching illegally game film. Yeah. But yet, he bought all kinds of tickets, got caught buying all kinds of tickets, but he said he was buying them for people. He couldn't remember who he was buying them for. If you want to know more about Stallions, there's a sign stealing documentary on Netflix about it if you want to watch it. I'm not going to go into all the details about it here today. Then we'll switch to this right here. Last October, this is Ross Dellinger. If you don't know who Ross Dellinger is, he's a Yahoo. He breaks all the news about the legal stuff. He's sits in court over all the stuff, all that. Last October, Connor Stallions bought a single ticket to Tennessee versus Kentucky. 3 minutes later, he transferred it to a person who attended the game In a seat facing the Vols sideline, Stallions also bought tickets to UGA, Bama, Clemson, last two SEC title games. Okay. Tennessee and Clemson in 2022 were both right on the edge of the playoffs. And Michigan was afraid that if they lost to Ohio State, they wouldn't get in. Well, who played Clemson and Tennessee last two games of the year? South Carolina. So, why would he be watching Tennessee and Clemson for when Michigan didn't play them? To give their signals to South Carolina. Also, I didn't clip anything of this, but Beamer's already been in trouble for a little bit of cheating, like this type of cheating, when he was at Georgia, maybe. So he's not above it. Let's switch over this next one. Reports and social media conversations indicate South Carolina Gamecocks defense wore wristbands during their game against Tennessee Volunteers. This is notable because it was reportedly the only game in which the Gamecocks defense used wristbands during that season. What defense wears wristbands at home? None of them. You don't wear wristbands at home. If you're going to wear wristbands, you wear them on the road. If you're a Tennessee fan, South Carolina fan, anybody, that night, South Carolina was in the perfect play all night long on offense and defense. You haven't worn wristbands all year long. That you wear them at night in your stadium. To make it even worse, they come to Neyland next year. We beat them 41-20. They didn't wear wristbands that game. If you was going to wear wristbands, you'd wear them on the road. You wouldn't wear them at home. Let's not forget, South Carolina's biggest offensive output in the 3 games before Tennessee played them. 10, 7, and 6. I'm pretty sure. I'll pull that up here in a minute. So they went from not scoring more than 10 points in a game for 3 straight weeks to all of a sudden scoring 63, and Spencer Rattler throws 6, 7 touchdowns. They're always in the right spot, always got the right play. But there's still some people that don't believe they had their signals. I don't ever not believe it. It's not been proven that this is a mile of evidence. Now, some people might say they allegedly had it. I know they had it. Let's see. The use of wristbands of South Carolina defense during that particular game against Tennessee led to speculation and discussion, particularly in the context of recent college football events involving scouting or potentially illicit acquisition of information. Connor Stallions called them up, said, hey, y'all want to buy these signals so y'all can beat them? I'm pretty sure they sold them Clemson's too, but I can't. Like I said, this is all allegedly. I don't want to get sued by Connor Stallions or Michigan now. Not that they gave a damn about me. That's got 28 subscribers. That's why y'all need to like and subscribe. So here we are, right here. This is South Carolina leading up to Tennessee and Clemson that year. South Carolina played Missouri. South Carolina's at home. No wristbands. Scored 10 points. South Carolina played Vandy, scored 38. No big deal there. Vandy's terrible that year. They played Florida, who wasn't even that good that year either. Scored 6 points. Then Tennessee rolls into town. 10-1. Playoff bound, and all of a sudden, Spencer Rattler has the greatest game of his life. They drop 63 points. They're in the right spots on defense, right spot on offense every single time. They're in the right play. Not fishy at all. And then they go on the road to Clemson the next week. Beat Clemson too. Look, we was 5. Clemson was 7. Both of us right there in the playoffs. Chance to make the playoffs. South Carolina beats us both at the end of the year after doing nothing through the rest of the season. Everybody thought they was going to build off of that and have this great season the next year, and they didn't. They come to Neyland. Us with the team that wasn't even as good as the one before, beat the brakes off of them with Spencer Rattler still. He had a terrible game. Threw a pick six. And he said, "Oh, we was their Super Bowl." South Carolina's not anybody's Super Bowl. Let's get that straight. And that's about as far as I'm going to get into it. Y'all tell me what you think. Y'all think South Carolina had their signals that year? Like I said, slow news day. I said I was going to do this video anyway. Me, I think they do, and that's just not because I'm a Vol fan. You don't just wear wristbands at home for the first time all year. First time all year, only time. And you don't go from scoring 10 points to 6 points to dropping 63 out of the middle of nowhere. It just don't happen. Not how football works. I mean, even if you was progressively getting better as the year went on and you peaked at that time of year, sure, that you went from scoring 6 points against Florida, who was like 5-win team that year, to dropping 63 the next week, and then dropping 31 against Clemson next week. Clemson's offense and their scheme and tempo ain't quite like ours, so they didn't need the wristbands in that game because they had time to signal the plays in faster, all that. So y'all tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, comment down there. Tell me if you think they took our signals or if you think I'm crazy for thinking they did. I'm not the only one. Last thing I want to go over is a little recruiting news. I went over a little bit yesterday. JB Shabazz, 4-star, top 400 ranking in the composite of all the sites, but On3 has him as a top 60 player. Be a huge get. He commits tomorrow at 6 o'clock between us and South Carolina. I think it's going to be the Vols. You never know with recruiting. So we'll cover that tomorrow, make a video about it after. And I'll wrap this one up with that. Like I said, it's a bad news day. That's why I went ahead and made the sign stealing video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Like and share, subscribe for that cuteness you got to see at the beginning. As always, go Vols, baby.